Alright, Shalom, giving all praise unto Yabashim Mashai, Bashim Korah Korash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing these truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And the brother, everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Mashai, Bashim Korah Korash. Giving all praise unto Yabashim Mashai, Bashim Korah Korash. Okay, so you thought a lot of this stuff was conspiracy theories. I'm talking about the guys out here that scoff against Great Millstone and brothers that teach the name and teach and push Yahweh Bashim Mashai. It was all a conspiracy theory, and all of this stuff is coming to be found out to be real. You know, we spoke about the chip and we do videos about the chip, but we're just going to speak about this artificial lifestyle Esau's trying to force upon the people. And you know, you watch the movie like Demolition Man, and you saw particular things in there that we quoted, and guys were like, oh, that's just a conspiracy. Now it's real, right? Ain't that funny how that works? And now they're gonna scoff about something else. And the message to the brothers out here that's pushing this truth, man, we just gotta stay on our path and stay faithful unto death, because we can see the moral side is working, and we can see Yahweh Bashim Mashai is showing us really that this man is the devil that the Bible speaks about. He thinks he's God, but really he's the devil that the Bible speaks about. He's a God on the earth on the left hand side, but really you know, these things that we see out here, these are all the reasons, additional reasons, outside of putting the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans into slavery, additional reasons as to why this guy's got to go into slavery, and then ultimately he's going to get Obadiah, the first chapter on the 18th. So we know about the lab-grown food. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. That's like, you know, we already know about that, right? But let's go to this article right here. We've got the artificial womb. That's what Esau is getting ready for the world right now. That's science right there. Look at that. That's science, man. So scientific. We've never seen a technology so supreme. And it's like this is weird, bro. Why you gotta create an artificial womb when the Most High has already created the perfect womb? Okay, that's within inside of a woman. Like this whole idea that Esau is smart it's gotta be put down. This notion that Esau is clever and he's this high IQ individual. There's certain things that you just don't need to do. Like, you don't need to create an artificial womb. And if the Most High set it up to where the baby's gonna die, the baby's gonna die. That's a part of life. And you know what? A lot of these people are being kept alive by means of medicine and all of that, and so-called science, for the express purpose of getting destroyed by means of the missiles. Okay? This is what's gonna happen out here. And you got all of these sick kids out here, because most of them were supposed to get the apple, you know, when they was younger, but you know, they was artificially kept alive with Esau sciences and whatever. And, you know, now they're living a life of suffering. You know, death is a natural process of life. Okay, death is a natural process of life, and you know, Esau's trying to escape death. Now, ultimately, eternal life is given unto the elect, and that's what Esau's trying to obtain by means of these sciences, and tries, you know, circumvent the judgment. You know, you don't commit, you know, you don't get. He's trying to have it to where you don't get punished for your actions, basically. Because you think about it. Let's think about the story of Yahweh Shai when he had healed the man that was blind, right? They understood it was judgment. The men that was with him, they understood it was judgment, but they said, look, who did the sin? Was it this man, or was it his parents that he was born blind from birth? So they understood that the Most High worked by means of punishing a person for what they did. Now what Esau's trying to do is he's trying to have it to where you could do whatever you want, right? That's their mantra, and there's no punishment, there's no judgment for it. That's why people rely so heavily upon the sciences. See, within the ancient world, you know, you prayed, you hoped you had a painless. You hoped you had a healthy baby, right? But you also understood if the Most High took that kid out, it was the judgment of the Lord. And that's what Esau's trying to circumvent with these sciences falsely so called. Okay, with these sciences falsely so called. But it gets weirder. It gets weirder. It gets stranger, man. Let's go to the next one. Now what this guy's trying to do, he's trying to have the sperma be artificial too. Lab-grown sperm and eggs just a few years away. So who's going to create the characteristics of what the children's supposed to be like? Is Alexa going to do that? Damn, man. Damn. And this is where we're at. This is where people want to stay. They want to stay in a world where you got, you know, all kind of artificial intelligence creating plastic sperm and plastic eggs, and you know, that's gonna grow in the what did we see a second ago? That's gonna grow potentially, according to these guys, they'll be in the lab womb, right? The artificial womb, right? It's a weird world, bro. It's a weird world. But so good, man. When Yahweh Shai comes, all of these little weirdo things that Esau does across the face of the earth, all these little crazy scientific programs that just don't need to be, like, you don't need to make artificial sperm, man. And then at the same time, they're gonna do that. They're gonna put all kind of food within all kind of chemicals within your food to where, your count's gonna be low. That's the dramatic irony of the whole thing. They're gonna have it to where you naturally, you can't, the whole idea of having a child is like hell. They'll set up a system where the whole idea of having a child is like hell. Like, you get a text message right now and your girl or your side piece says she's pregnant, brother, the stress. You're thinking about how you're gonna get through the situation. You think about how you're gonna get through the situation. You're procrastinating. You're like, man, what I gotta do? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? But at the same time, he's gonna make the lab-grown sperma. At the same time, he's gonna make the artificial womb. Like, this is not life. This ain't life, man. Data centers is gonna take up all your water. The sperma, the artificial womb, they're gonna take up all the life that you're supposed to be making. Okay, the UBI is gonna take up all the resources that you thought you had, all the things that you thought you built up. This ain't life, man. This ain't a utopia Esau's building. This is a prison. Esau's getting ready to build a prison. Esau's getting ready to build a prison where everything is gonna be micromanaged and controlled. Even the very essence, right, of giving birth, he's gonna control that. He's gonna say this person can be born and they're gonna be used for this particular thing. They kind of showed you that within Man of Steel, the one with Henry Cavill. And they said, look, and Zod said, look, man, I was born to be a warrior. Genetically modified to be a warrior. And they showed you that. They said, look, this is Kal-El. It's the first natural birth in centuries. I think Zod said, blasphemy. Because he had grown up underneath that system. It's a great actor, by the way, that guy. I forget his name. He's a great actor, fantastic actor. He's a fantastic actor. Blasphemy. Kind of like a weird dude, but when he gets behind the in front of the camera, man, that guy is he's a fantastic actor. But that's the system Esau's getting ready to set up out here. Everything's gonna be controlled, man. Everything's gonna be controlled. No natural meat. You're gonna have the artificial stuff, and they're gonna already load it up with the whatever jab you gotta have within there. They're gonna put it straight into the the plastic beef. They're gonna put it straight in there. Whatever child's supposed to be born, they're gonna be born the way Esau wants it to be born. That's what he wants to set up out here. But we know the Most High is not gonna allow him to have that. Job the 20th chapter, when he's about to fill his belly, that's when Yahweh Shai is gonna put him in straight. That's when it's gonna be difficult for Esau, because you're gonna realize it was always the Most High that was in control. You had no freedom. You was doing the bidding of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, and you're gonna do exactly what you're supposed to do up until your destruction cometh about, and that's when the whole world is gonna be at rest, right? Everybody's gonna rejoice when Esau's destroyed, man. Life can be life, because indeed, like I said, this isn't life. In any event, with that, I'm gonna say all praises unto Yahweh Shai, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and the honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.